Okay. First of all, this is to Refuah Shlema of Natan HaKohen ben Rachel and Harav Yaakov ben Adina. What do you guys think about getting a degree in law? A law degree. It's a good thing? It's important, right? I mean, it's not easy, right? Nice. How about let's say a PhD in clinical psychology? Also, right? Very impressive. How about any other degree? How about a doctor, engineer? Is that important? Is that good? Right on. I'm not saying it's not good. But to a certain extent, it's a waste of opportunity. Let me make it clear. Everybody needs to have a profession for security. We're not in that madrega, in that level, that our actions are so precise and so clean and so pure that everything is going to fall to us like man in the desert. A person needs to have something in his pocket. And why I say it's a waste or it's a missed opportunity? Because when you go to school, you go to college, you get a degree, a PhD, a doctorate, a law degree, you kind of need to do it on your own. What does it mean? Of course, God helps you with everything, because if it wasn't for HaKadosh Baruch Hu helping you, it would not happen. The Gemara tells us two things. The Gemara tells us that if a person wants to do the wrong thing, all they do in heaven is they open the door and he walks at it by himself. But they do have to open the door for him. If a person wants to do the right thing, they actually help him and support him in reaching that goal. Because it says, Habali ta'er mesayim beyado. Person wants to purify himself, he gets tremendous siyata d'shamaya, tremendous heavenly help in everything that he does. What does it mean? Not only that everything will go his way, also abstractions that will be along the way will be eliminated, will not be able to reach him because he is focused on purifying himself. If a person would learn Torah and sincerely want to learn Torah and understand that that is the goal, that's the centerpiece of his life, therefore Mishamayim, they're going to help you out. So you have a heavenly assistant and support on everything you do. And that would include housing and spousing and you name it. Everything that you do. All possible distractions that will be along the way would be eliminated just so you could sit down and learn Torah. So when you're going to get a doctorate and so on and so forth, which is important, but if it's not directed towards learning Torah, saying I'm going to get a degree so I could actually sit down and learn, and I'm going to make sure that going to work is not going to interrupt with my learning, I'm making my learning primary and everything else secondary. If you are going to do that, even in school, it's going to be good for you. If you're not going to do that, and you're going to say, Torah, 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 I love Torah, but you're not going to learn, you're not going to come on time, you're not going to do chazara, you're not going to dedicate every moment that you can for learning, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Well, you're going to tell, well, not everybody could become a Talmid Chacham. And here is where I disagree with you. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when God gave the Torah to Am Yisrael, He didn't give the Torah to a selected few. It says, "Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Hina Torah, give it to Bnei Israel." It doesn't, right? All Am Yisrael gathered around Har Sinai, and everybody received the Torah equally. Everybody was on a level of prophecy at that moment, like Moshe Rabbeinu. Says also the Rambam in Halachot Shuvah, whatever you will come in your life is basically a decision that you made to become that. Don't come and cry to me opportunities. He had better opportunity than I am. It's what you decided to make of your life. So if you have the capacity to become a lawyer, if you have the capacity to become a doctor, if you have the capacity to sit down and write a PhD, a thesis, that means that you have the ability to dedicate, because you cannot become a lawyer or a doctor or any of these things without actually having the right angles in your backside to sit down on a chair and learn. You need to have the discipline. My question to you is, why before you did that didn't you become a Talmid Chacham? And that's what makes me upset, because I believe everybody can if they wanted. Everyone can. Of course, they're not going to be all on the same level. But you don't know what your level is. You don't know what you're capable. And the reason why you haven't been until now is because you didn't really put the pedal to the metal, as they say. You didn't go all the way in it. And most of the time, people don't go all the way in most of the things they do, besides wasting time. Wasting time, we're like AAA. I mean, we're the best of the best. Top. But again, on a personal level, the fact that we are not all trying to learn to become the best Talmidei Chachamim, the best Bnei Torah that we can, affects all of us. Because the job needs to be done, and if you don't do your job, it has to be done, means that I have to do your share as well. And I can hardly do mine. You want me to do yours? So then what happens? It doesn't get done. And everything becomes delayed further and further and further. So you think very, very carefully before you decide to go, and don't tell me the stories, oh, mommy wants me to get married, and this one is looking for me, and everybody else my age. You came to this world alone. You're going to be buried alone. You might as well understand that all the time you're all alone. You've got to do what you need to do. You've got to do what is right to do, and don't come up with excuses. Life will throw you curveballs all the time. It's enough what life will put in obstacles in your way to test, really, if you really mean what you say. It's enough. You don't need to add on obstacles from your own to what already is coming your way. Have a great day.